law in India very clearly mentions that you can access data using any of the devices, and even that access, if it has got dishonesty or if it is done in a wrong way, you are subject to a lot of fine and imprisonment. But as law enforcement or sort of the cure to the problem that we are talking about, you guys will need to understand that the technology that we are talking about, which is coming through the over the air, the mobile devices, the smartphones and the tablets, this technology is an enabler. We are not something which is an industry by itself. Technology is an enabler, and that enabler has to be used in such a way that you judiciously make use of the same technology to make sure that there is compliance, people adhere to the policy, and you have the proper records, you have the right kind of information available about the mobile devices within your organization. So Soft Web Solutions is basically has actually come up with a solution to sort of try and tackle this problem. And our solution is something which is based on pretty much known facts. Everybody, one of us know that when you join an organization, you get a laptop, you get a desktop, there are certain policies of your operating system or the server which has been connected. When you connect to a server, your USB does not work, or on your laptop certain things work, on your manager's laptop certain additional things work. So that differentiation or that exclusivity is already a part of an organization when you join a particular organization. But now we are talking about mobile devices. Executives get mobile devices, managers get mobile devices. In fact, even the peon, the admin assistant, carries a mobile device, and that could be an Android. You never know what that guy is going to do with the data. He is going to copy, scan a document, take it to your competitor, and just use his Bluetooth and transfer the file unknowingly. What are you going to do? These are pretty much day-to-day challenges that you have got when we start using the mobile devices. And believe me, Facebook is good, Twitter is good, but when it comes to the professionalism, when it comes to the data within an organization, you are paying a huge cost when you are allowing these kind of things. So the solution to that is something which is, we call it as the mobile device management. Mobile device management is pretty simple. The way your PC or your laptop is right now controlled in the corporation, where you have limited access. Your USB won't work. You put your pen drive in your office, it's going to say it is not detected, because your IT infrastructure guy, the administrator of your server, has blocked the USB port. Or you put a SD card, it doesn't work because that particular thing has been blocked. Now what we have to do here, when you are trying to manage your mobile devices, you have to put some kind of blocks, and that's what we call as the mobile device management. And when we do that, we got to make sure every organization has got its own traits, it has got its own policies. Using your own organizational policy, you have to sort of put the necessary restrictions. Remember, barring everything, if you tell the people you switch off your mobile and come to the office, that's not going to help. You know the importance of the mobile devices. Your sales guy, if he is not contactable, you are going to hate it. Because if your guy doesn't go out in the field and if he doesn't have a mobile device, you are not going to be able to manage that person's day. You are not going to be able to manage that person's capabilities. You have to give him a tablet or you have to give him a mobile device which is issued by your organization. You cannot say that, okay, you switch off your mobile when you are working, because that has now become a necessity. It was a luxury probably 10 years ago when it was 8 rupees per minute for the call. Now we are talking about almost free call, because when you buy a corporate plan, you are getting mobile to mobile free. So that is pretty easy. Data is pretty cheap. 10 paisa per kilobyte or 2 paisa per kilobyte. So those are the kind of things we are talking, where the corporates are lured into buying these devices for their executives, for almost each and every employee. So before that step is taken, or rather that step has been taken by many of the organizations, what they need to do is that this particular these devices have to be managed. We have to make sure that the devices that you are issuing to your people is managed so well that you give them the liberty to they have to do in their profile. So if a sales guy has to call US, you give him the liberty to call US. But if there is a peon who is working and you have issued a mobile device to him, you don't want that guy to dial 00 or +44 and call UK. You want to restrict that on his mobile. How are you going to do that? You cannot do that by opening each and every person's mobile. You cannot put restrictions on those mobiles. So what you have to do is that control all these things over the air. Again, we come back to where these mediums that we are talking about, everything is over the air. And it is only over the air that you can control this. And that's what we call it when you talk about the MDM or the mobile device management. That's what we are talking about. So it's a three-step solution. You are going to make sure that the policy is enforced to the mobile device. Your mobile device is a resource. The person who is using it has to know that I have to adhere to the company policy. I have to make sure that my mobile is compliant with the organizational policy. So that is how you basically enforce the policy and make sure that every mobile device has got listed at your server. You have to make sure that your assets are managed. So if you are going to buy 100 mobile devices or 100 tablets for your people, what you have to do is that you have to have an inventory of those devices, and using the GPRS and the GPS that is inbuilt on most of the new mobile phones, you can make sure that where that particular device is, you can have an inventory of those things. So that's something which is a part of the solution, because you have to manage those things easily. So your assets are getting managed. And last but not the least, you have to secure your information. So as part of that, when somebody accesses my server or my intranet, what I got to make sure is that I give sufficient information to the person in a way that the person can make use of that, but cannot transmit it to someone else. So what remains with me is I can probably block that particular transmission capability from the mobile. So that's one of the solutions that we're talking about. People carry their mobile devices and it gets lost. There's a smartphone that you have issued to your executive. His entire briefcase gets stolen. So you cannot hold that person responsible, but somebody opens that. Now your data is in danger because that was an executive who was carrying a lot of data. So you should have capability to wipe off that data or put a lock on that mobile device so that if it gets into wrong hands, you are able to at least protect your data. The device is gone, no issues. It can come back. But your data is something which is pretty crucial. A very simple diagram of how the software MDM works. You have the corporate administrator, you have the corporate policy, and you have the corporate data. Your mobile devices ABC or a tablet device T can be managed over the air. These red lines indicate the air. There is, like, I could speak for lot of time here. But of course, what we have done is that as part of this deal, we've had a small place here downstairs where we have managed to create a demonstration. So all those people who have got Android devices can very easily go and see what we are talking about when we talk about the MDM. What we talk about MDM is the mobile device management. If you have an Android phone, go ahead. If you don't have an Android phone, still go ahead. We have got phones available there, and we'll show you how the restrictions can be enabled or disabled as part of your policy and how that can be done. So that's something which you can try. We are here for both the days, today and tomorrow. You can try. It is just a 7-step process which can be, it's a 2 minutes or 3 minutes you need when you are connected to a Wi-Fi or a GPRS, and we can demonstrate how your mobile device gets controlled remotely over the air. So that's what that's what is the solution that we are talking about. And with that, I would like to end here. Any one of you, if you need to contact us, you can contact here. And we also have got a question answer session, which we will do it now. Thank you, everybody.